Welcome back. I'm Yancey Cook, and as been mentioned, here's what's cooking in the sports kitchen. The Gator women's track and field team already has a national champion. Junior Fawn Miller won the championship in the women's javelin throw with a personal record of 58.13 meters. Stipe Zunick finished 6th in the men's shot put event, and 6 individuals, 4 men and 2 women, qualified for the finals in their events, including Najee Glass and Hugh Graham Jr. in the men's 400. The championships run through Saturday in Oregon. Over in Major League Baseball, some afternoon games have already wrapped up today with 2 games still in progress. The early games featured the Reds taking the series from the Dodgers with a 4-1 victory in Cincinnati, and the Phillies swept the Padres with a 7-3 win today in Philly. Speaking of the NL East, 2 other teams are actually about to wrap up now. The Braves have already finished with the Rockies losing 10-3, and the Giants are in the bottom of the 8th, up 5-1 over the Nationals. Both the Rays and Marlins have the day off tonight, so they will not be in action. In golf, the U.S. Open tournament began today at Pinehurst No. 2 in North Carolina. 2 Gator golfers, Matt Every and Billy Horschel, had rough days overall, but will look to bounce back to make the cut before the weekend. Here's a look at the leaderboard thus far at the Open. Martin Keimer sits at -4 at the top of the leaderboard. Kevin Na and Graham McDowell are both tied at -2 for second place. Lefty Phil Mickelson finished today with an even par round, and as I mentioned, Billy Horschel finished +5 and Every at +6 on the day. The Open continues all weekend through Sunday. Ladies and gentlemen, it's here. After 4 years of waiting, the World Cup is back. The host country gets to play the first game of the tournament, so that honor goes to Brazil today. Brazil begins with Croatia, and it looks like they have wrapped up, and Brazil has won 3-1. Actually, Brazil scored Croatia's goal on an own goal early in the match. The U.S., however, does not play until Monday evening. In the NHL, the Rangers were in a win-or-go-home situation last night against the Kings in Game 4 of the Stanley Cup Finals. Being in the Garden with the rabid Rangers fans cheering them on was a great advantage for the Rangers. They wasted little time getting on the scoreboard as Benoit Pouliot gets the puck past Jonathan Quick. Henrik Lundqvist was the king, as they call him in New York last night, finishing with 40 saves and holding the Kings to 1 goal. The Rangers went on to win the game 2-1 and cut the series lead to 3-1, with Game 5 coming tomorrow night in L.A. A huge game tonight for the Miami Heat as they find themselves down 2-1 going into Game 4 against the San Antonio Spurs. The Spurs shot the lights out of American Airlines Arena in Game 3, specifically in the first half, as they set a finals record of 75.9% shooting from the field. Kawhi Leonard and Danny Green were both spectacular in Game 3, finishing with 44 points combined, as well as adding 7 steals on the defensive end as the Spurs beat the Heat by 19. Heat coach Eric Spoelstra doesn't want his team to focus on the big loss, but to learn from it and get better because of it.
Doesn't matter ultimately how many you lose by or what the game is like. You got to learn from it, move on. The next game is an opportunity, and you don't want to get caught up in all the wild swings and compound it and make it more than it is.
Game 4 will tip off at 9 o'clock at American Airlines Arena. In NBA history, no team has ever come back from a 3-1 deficit in the finals. Over in the NFL, former Gator Marquise Pouncey was actually made the highest paid center in the NFL today. Signed a 5-year, $44 million extension.
Yeah, he's the only center in league history that's made it to the Pro Bowl each of his first 3 seasons.
That's right.
Thank you, Yancey. Stay with us. There's more news after the break.